What's up, Sims? Coming at you with another review. This week we're going over Rent a Girlfriend Season 2. Now, after I just finished Cyberpunk recently, I decided I wanted to go with something a little bit more normal to, clear the filter, reset the palette. So I decided to go with this show, the sequel to Rent a Girlfriend Season 1, because I've already seen it a few years ago, and I heard it wasn't going to be that good of a show, so I kind of wanted to see if the community was right on it, because a lot of people are saying, don't watch this isn't going to be a good show this season, the manga falls apart, who knows? So I gave it a shot, and honestly, it was better than I expected. A lot of people, I think, were underhyping the show. I think it was pretty decent. The show was again animated by TMS Entertainment, and they did a good job with the show again. Same one as the first season, so not a whole lot different there. Had some fun little cutaways that they would have with just crazy, just like super like half-assed animation where there'd be just like a couple lines scribbled or whatever, and they would just be like, okay, and stuff like that. The gags that they had with that sometimes were just really funny. And now we're gonna move on to the music of the show. I think they did a pretty good job overall with the music. I can't really complain too much. It did a good job at least fitting the setting of the rom-com in the city. Standard vibes with that. Intro of the show, I liked it. It was a little bit worse than last season's intro, but it was still a pretty fun intro. Had little TikTok dances again where they were doing like things like that. And they reused it twice though in the intro. That was a little bit lazy, but what are you gonna do? Outro, I really like the outro, actually. It did a good job at setting up the next episode, and you couldn't just stop on the one you were on. You're like, ooh, I gotta move on to the next one. This is hyping me up for that. So I enjoyed that quite a bit. So overall, pretty good on the music. As far as the voice acting goes, pretty much the same fare as last season. Basically the same characters you had. Both the dub and the sub were pretty good. I didn't have any complaints with the dub. Some people like to, shit talk dubs for just being worse. No, I think they did a good job with it. No characters in it really felt out of place or poorly chosen for an actor, so I liked it. Stand-up performer, I'd probably have to say, is Mommy. They did a really good job with the voice actor's choice for her. Just, it felt like it fit into the characters, like, kind of conniving, a mastermind, oh, I'm gonna really mess with those relationships sort of a thing. And it worked really well for her, so good on them. Now we'll move on to the plot of the show, and I was really annoyed with the plot at the beginning of the show. It was such a frustrating experience at the beginning. They started out doing a little bit of a recap. They had the characters, like, talking about it in their own perspective, what happened last season. That was fine. They didn't go on too long. But then, for like the first few episodes, you've only got the main two characters going through their relationship stuff with each other, and I was getting so sick of the whole tsundere simp vibe that was going on between them. It was just kept going and going and going. I'm like, can we get some other characters in the show? Because I don't know why Chizuru was loved so much last season either, because she's just a tsundere, and I'm not really a fan of tsunderes, so sorry about that. Didn't get my vote for her, but luckily, after that point, we move on to a little bit more interesting things a little bit later in the show, where just some crazy shenanigans happen. Like, there's all these situations where it's like, oh, this person's gonna catch this person. Oh no, this person's gonna catch this person. What are we gonna do? It had like a weird like domestic girlfriend or like gamers vibe where just wacky stuff was happening, and it was just like, there's no way this had actually happened, but it was so entertaining to watch that I can't take away from it. It was just a fun watch. So we're going to come down to the rating now, and I'm going to give the show a nice 7 out of 10. I think it deserves it. It was above average. It was, yeah, a little bit worse than the first season, I would say, but it was still a fun show to watch. Even though it starts out in a little bit of a rocky note, it moves up pretty quickly as the show goes on. It has some really high highs in a couple of the episodes. Unfortunately, it's not able to sustain that throughout the entire show, so that does take a little bit of the points off that it could have had. But overall, if you watch the first season of the show, you're going to enjoy the second season of the show. With that, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.